Now we are gonna literally get weird. Weird, the Al Yankovic story stars Daniel Radcliffe and it is the 100% true story of Al Yankovic's career. So a few weeks back, we talked about Daniel Radcliffe and how much we were looking forward to seeing him. So now, post movie,
Yeah.
what do you think of his performance?
Inspired. Um, I mean, top notch. How do I gold? Pure gold.
Weird.
Definitely weird. Shredded, if you
It's
will.
shredded. A funny thing about those apps, because that was one of the things that, like, I just thought that it's a small thing, but I would see them in the trailer, and I thought it was hilarious. I saw an interview with Ali Yankovic as he was, promoting the movie or whatever, and he's showing a scene from the movie, and he's like, "Wow, I don't remember being in such good shape in the '80s."
Oh my god. He
uh,
is so tore up in this movie. It's so good.
he's ripped, like, and it's so anybody who's a fan of Ali Yankovic, they're gonna immediately go to whatever their favorite song is, Amish Paradise or Fat or Like a Surgeon, whatever your favorite is.
Sure.
And you get some of that, and you get a lot of that in this movie, obviously. But and spoiler alert, we'll go over some things about it, but I mean, it's an Al Yankovic
And
movie.
it's pure satire. There's almost nothing to spoil, actually. So
And I loved how in this movie the music, it almost takes a back seat, and the spoof is actually on the biopic genre. I love that.
it's honestly, it's pure genius, but I should not be surprised that this is the route they went, because it was obviously crafted with Al, and heavily involved in the writing and everything. And there's nothing about this movie that isn't it's a parody of a guy who does parodies. And it's just so it does it in such a fun, smart way. And I couldn't be happier with how they told the Al Yankovic story.
This I when you hear about this and you're like, okay, Daniel Radcliffe looks amazing. We'll talk about Evan Rachel Wood right now, but in the
Right.
trailer she looked cool. Like, just the idea of it is so silly and over the top, but there's still a little bit of trepidation. Like,
Sure.
what are they going to do? How is this going to work in the modern world? Like, is it going to be too goofy? And then you get that cold open that you've seen in every single musical biopic where the mom is cleaning up the bedroom, and then they look under the bed and they pull out like the Elvis Presley record because they can't be listening to rock and roll, or a
Right.
nudie mag, or I don't know, a letter from a girl and they shouldn't be single, whatever it is. And this, she pulls out a Hawaiian shirt and starts to tear up. From that opening, like, I was hooked. I knew what I was in for, and I absolutely loved it.
Well, and then him bursting back to life too, like
Oh, that's the true opening, actually.
yeah, yeah, no, everything about the first 10 minutes are kind of, you're just kind of go, okay, all right, like this is just, I mean, but again, I, as a lifelong Al Yankovic fan, I mean, it's easy for me to just, I feel like right at home with how they started doing, how this movie started. I could see, like, if you didn't really know anything about Weird Al at all, really, and you just kind of threw this on, it would be really hard to follow.
You would definitely well, I guess so I googled the movie after. I just wanted to see like what people thought of it,
Sure, sure.
and there's lots of stuff like fact checking it. How much is true? Like, did Al Yankovic really date Madonna? Like, this sort of
Oh,
stuff, and it's like, I don't know whether they think they're really dumb or they don't get it, or maybe the movie is just that good. I don't know. But then there's a scene, I mean, there's a whole segment where he goes to the Colombian jungles and has a
right.
confrontation with a very major drug lord.
Yeah,
I
right.
don't
Pablo
quite,
Escobar. Yeah.
yeah, I don't quite understand how people would be confused by it. Um,
Yeah.
but then again, I don't know what people know about their history nowadays.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Obviously,
right. In this universe, Al Yankovic actually wrote the tune "Bad" that Michael Jackson stole from him off,
right.
off Fat.
How
So.
how much of a twist was that? Serious? Like, when he comes out with Fat, or no, with Beat It, with Beat It.
Yeah. Eat it,
or
eat it.
Eat
Oh
It.
yeah,
He
eat
comes
it,
out with
eat it.
Eat It. He comes out with Eat It, and then Michael Jackson comes out with Beat It using the theme.
That's what it is. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it is.
when that first came out, I was like, "Oh man, that is so
Yeah.
good!" Like they totally rewrote history, and it's so and they play it serious. Way back when we did Butt Boy, and it's
Yeah.
very similar to that. Like
Yeah.
it's except you're really in on the joke in this one if because you've lived through it. But like
Right.
I thought that was so clever. I love that they did that.
Oh, I mean, it's taking probably, everything Weird Al thought was like a ridiculous reality, his fantasies of the 80s, and just probably dating Madonna. And I mean, Madonna like literally knocks on his door, like shows up in his house, knocks on his door, and like I think this is all based off because like they had a photograph together at like an award show or something that was like an actual photo that they just ran with this entire craziness. And I mean, again, you have to, if you're not into Weird Al, I think you're just gonna hate this thing, because if you don't get Weird Al, you've never gotten Weird Al. You're not gonna get you're not gonna get this either.
Yeah, if you're like similar age to us and you
Yeah,
know who Weird Al is and you know what he's all about and you
yeah,
just don't like him, then you're gonna think this movie is corny and goofy if you're forced to watch it because you're probably not going to watch it
probably not gonna
anyway.
watch it.
but
Yeah,
but if for whatever reason you're forced to watch it, then yeah, you won't like it. If it's an introduction to Weird Al,
yeah.
then it'll be really strange. It'll be
Oh
really
yeah, but like I could see being a kid, and if I watched this just on a whim, and then I discovered that there was like all this whole catalog of goofy shit that spanned like 30 years, I would be ecstatic. So I hope it creates a whole new base for Weird Al fans.
I hope it does. I think it will. And in that same interview that I saw him do, he said that every time he comes out with a new album, people are like, "Oh, Weird Al's making a comeback. He's back." And he's always like, "Well, he never really won anymore."
Yeah, kind of always been doing it.
He's been doing it for decades, very steady at it, very pop. He always has one or two songs that really hit hard, and
Yep.
I mean, he's good at what he does, and I do think it is going to open up eyes because I think that some people will get the joke and be like, cool. Some people will not like it. I think there's some people who will be like, okay, yeah, like he did. I Love Rocky Road. I don't know what the hell that means on here, but I kind of get this Amish Paradise one, and I definitely get the Eat It one, but I gotta see what else this guy is, and you would be amazed at the catalog. And he does his own original material too, but just forgetting just the parodies that he's
Oh,
done, it's wild how prolific he's been.
oh, it's insanity, and I mean, he's a good musician. He, as they say, he's a perfectly competent accordion player. I mean, he's good, and not only that, like he can like his flow, if you will. There's a couple albums where he does like rap basically. I
Yeah,
mean, he can speak as fast as like any rapper. And it's like the dude is just, he's a very incredibly talented guy with an incredibly good sense of humor, and he's just obviously sharp as a tack, and that's what makes his brand of comedy, I think, so appealing. And like, he's a comedian's comedian. Like, people, like, you'll see the people that are in this movie. I mean, you name it, Rainn Wilson, Conan O'Brien. I mean, people who know good comedy, they know that Weird Al is incredible at what he does. And it's cool to see it on the screen like this, because we've all kind of watched the videos. Like, his videos were always super funny, so
yeah,
it's cool to see it in this fashion. And again, Danny, getting back to like Daniel Radcliffe, like we were talking about this before, like Daniel Radcliffe 100% just does this role. I mean, he's
yeah,
100% invested. It's outrageous how like straight he takes it, and it's just so good, so good.
yeah. He's Weird Al, but Weird Al is a quote unquote serious musician.
And a prima donna at that.
And yeah, yeah, he's like the rock star who drinks from Jack Daniels and throws the bottle at your head if you if you don't bring him more immediately type
I'm
of
the
thing.
one who's weird.
Oh, it's such a great
It's such a
scene.
great
Like
scene.
it's just so and then going back to what you're saying about Weird Al, he also does all this. He's witty and clever and he's clean.
Yeah.
Like he's not a he's not mean
Nope.
spirited, he's not
Doesn't work
ugly,
blue.
just never worked blue. And I have nothing against that. But the fact that
Right.
I couldn't do it because my
No.
vocabulary is so limited that
Yeah,
fuck is
I'm an idiot.
eventually gonna come sooner than
Yeah,
later. There's a
I'm a
4 letter
fucking
word.
idiot. What are you expecting?
Like it's amazing. And then Evan Rachel Wood,
Yeah,
her portrayal as Madonna, like 1985 Madonna, was so on point. Like when
yeah.
she's first introduced, I was like, man, I remember her from Desperately Seeking Susan. Like I was just amazed by her performance.
I'm a big fan of hers, and so I didn't even know she was in it till like the credits and stuff started out, and so yeah, I thought she was just fantastic. She took the role really seriously, and it's like the end stuff. I won't spoil that, but like the end stuff with Madonna in this movie is just so over the top, and like to see her playing it that straight too, just awesome.
Yeah, she either was a huge fan growing up
Yeah.
or she really did her research on it. It's a really good portrayal of Madonna. And she's the femme fatale and she absolutely wants Weird Al to parody her own song. It's so ridiculous. And I think we have to mention that the only reason this movie is even out is because of Roku. Um Al Yankovic said that he would like to say that there was a bidding war for this movie, but no one wanted anything to do with it except for Roku. So, I mean, a huge risk from Roku, and I would say this is probably the biggest movie they've ever released, original programming.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mm.
I would have to imagine it is. I'm incredibly well done. I mean, they probably threw a pretty good chunk of change at it, and yeah, I think I've never heard of another Roku property
No,
that I
no,
can think of.
and so hopefully we'll see what they do in the future because
Yeah,
a pretty good start. So, Weird, the Al Yankovic story. It's out right now on Roku, which is 100% free. Assuming you've paid the $40 for a Roku. Uh, C or no C?
let's get weird, everybody. Yeah, of course. If you got a Roku, absolutely. If you're a Weird Al fan at all, even if you just like that one song, yeah, watch it. Totally die hard. Watch it.
There's no reason not to watch this.
Yeah.
Like you absolutely should. It's the holidays right now. I mean, we just heard presidential election news last night. Didn't it make everybody so happy? This is a great way to chill out and just laugh over stupid shit for about
Mhm.
90 minutes.